Hi there, Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. How are you? It is Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Are you ready for tonight? We're going to be doing some emboss resisting, and I'm going to give you some ideas on what to do with that. So, are you ready? I hope so. If you're on with me, please comment, say hello to get the instructions for this great card we're going to be doing tonight. So, without anything else, I'm going to flip you around and get you going. So hold on. Hey Pam, how are you? You're just having an evening with me, huh? For those of you that don't know, we just finished our team gathering that happens once a month, and it happens right before the live. So yeah, it's always fun. But I'm just looking for the video, getting my comments and all that up and ready to go. Hey Lise, how are you? So I think we're set and ready to go. I think. So for tonight, we're going to be doing emboss resist. And it's interesting to me how different a card can look depending on the lighting and depending on, you know, what else is around it and different things. So it's just fascinating to me. So what I'm saying is, if you don't like what I'm creating tonight, try it in pink, try it in red, try it in black and white, whatever the case, because it's gonna look so different depending on what's going on. Okay, so for tonight we are doing emboss resist. And what does that mean? So that means I take a piece of cardstock, whether it be colored, whether it be white, whether it be vanilla, it doesn't matter, and I emboss. So I stamp with Versamark, I sprinkle with powder, and then I heat to melt, and then over it, much like the crayon drawings as a kid, you put the ink around it and then wipe off the excess on the embossed part, and that stands out. So much like the crayon drawings we did as kids, right? With the water paint. Do you remember that? So this is what we're creating tonight. So if you are watching the video, you will need a card base, you will need a mat, you will need an inner mat, you will need all the stuff to do embossing, and you will need some gems and a sentiment and an accent. Okay? Okay, let's go. I'm ready. So for tonight, I've used Tasteful Touches is the stamp set I have. This is a cling stamp set, not a photopolymer. Photopolymer is the ones that look like plastic or that are all clear. Unless they're stained, of course, but that's how they start, at least. You will need a paper towel, or at least a half of one in my case. When you buy paper towels and you're crafting, try not to get ones that have ink on it. And what I mean by that is, like, you know how they have a printed border or something like that? So sometimes, not usually, but sometimes, if they're not set completely right, that ink, if you're rubbing on something, will get into your project. So when you buy paper towels, make sure to not have any kind of border on them, and then you won't have to worry about that. Okay? So on my table tonight, I have clear embossing powder, I have a Versamark pad, I have Night of Navy, I have Pacific Point. We'll see if I end up using that or not. I did on the original. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I have a block, of course. Tasteful Touches is over here. I already moved it. I have a blending brush that I already used, obviously, on the Night of Navy, because I liked it, so I kept doing it. So, of course, right? So, then I have thick basic white cardstock. This is cut at, can anybody guess? I'm just teasing. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Okay. On the valley side, not the mountain side, I should say mountain side, right? The valley side will be on the outside of the card. The mountain or the bump will go inside. That is so it goes with the fibers of the card and you don't end up cracking it. So just best practice. If you do the other way, it's not gonna do much different, but hey, you know? All right, so I've got Night of Navy and I've got Balmy Blue. A light blue is what that translates to. I've got my Stampin' Seal that is almost empty. So we'll see if we make it. It's always a challenge to me of like, how many things can I finish without having to, you know, get up, you know? All right, so I'm grabbing my Balmy Blue. I'm gonna put my card base to the side. Are we ready? We got a stamp, we got a do. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to do something a tiny bit different and we're going to just see the difference, okay? So this time I stamped it and I just did Versamark. Hey Iris, how are you, honey? I'm sorry I missed ya as you were coming in. So this one I just stamped with Versamark and just did the clear embossing. The next one I want to show you how to make a craft pad out of anything. Craft ink or pigment ink means that it's sticky, which means that you can emboss with it, okay? Our normal water-based pads you cannot emboss with because they dry so fast you can't get anything on them. Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but so I'm grabbing my Versamark pad. I'm putting my lids elsewhere, and I'm gonna grab my Pacific Point. I'm gonna show you how to make a craft pad, okay? And instead of the feather this time, I think I'm going to do the flower. But while I'm doing this, I already did You Are So Special. So what I want to know is, do we say just saying hello? Do we say the good things in life are better with you? Or do we say you are the best? So hello, life, or the best? That's what I want to know. Which sentiment are we doing? And I'm going to put it with the flower here. Good? Okay. So we're going to grab our flower, throw it on your pad, grab your block and press down. Why do you do that? So you don't get the oils on... Hey, Lise. Hey, Pam. How are you guys? Did you have to come back in? Did something happen? But you want to have the least amount of oils on that sticker that you possibly can. So you don't have to buy the cling adhesive, which yes, we do have. But the less you have to redo things, the more you can buy other stuff, right? So make sure to keep your fingers as much as you can off of what you want. Oh, you're telling me just saying hello. Got it. Sorry. I was thinking you had to come back in. Wow, my attention span is short, huh? All right, so Versamark pad, and then we are stamping in the Pacific Point. And then we are putting down on our pad. Now, if you are doing 100 of these, it might ruin your pad. If you're doing a couple of them, it's not gonna matter, okay? But you don't want to stamp the Versamark into your ink pad over and over again. This is just for a couple or buy a separate one. Okay? Got it? Wow, that almost looks purple. That's cool, huh? All right, so you said just saying hello now that I'm caught on to the fact that I asked a question for you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Can tell that my brain is about done for today, huh? So, okay, so we're gonna do just saying hello, and we're gonna stamp in our blue, and then we're gonna go up here, So my gems are going to go opposite, and that is okay. Okay. It always seems so much brighter till I put the powder on. And then it's the same color. So, all right, before we start blowing things around, lids are very, 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 very important. So, make sure to close everything before you start heat embossing. Why do I say that? Oh, experience. And that's all I must say about that. So, all right, I think I have everything cleaned and out of the way. So now I'm grabbing my heat tool. And we're gonna heat this until it melts. If you have something that has got a whole bunch of chunky glitter, you might want to start from underneath first to get everything warm so it doesn't blow off. Just a little tip. Or if you feel like your Versamark is maybe not quite as juicy as it needs to be, start from underneath. Not a problem. Okay? Love how that is heating up. Okay? So we're just gonna, now you can emboss it with white, you can emboss it silver, copper, I mean, it's up to you. There is a formula on how, if you look on YouTube, there is a formula on how to dye your clear embossing powder so you could have any color you want. I do not know that formula off the top of my head, but I will tell you I saw that a long time ago. And it does work. It's a little bit chunkier because obviously there's some moisture in it. And obviously once you color it, you're not doing anything else. So make sure that you like whatever that color is really, really well. All right, so now I am grabbing my blending brush. And I have to tell you, do you remember that technique? I think it was called Bokeh, B-O-K-E-H. I can always remember how to spell things, not how to say things. And it basically was if you take like a flash, a spotlight, or a camera behind, I have a little gnat in here, behind your piece of paper, and how you have the little circles of light. That's kind of what I was thinking of when I was doing that the first time. And I'll have to say, if you mess up and you go straight down, guess what? You're gonna have that circle anyways. Normally you would start off the side, right? This time I'm going to get some circles going. So what you want to do is you still want the brightness of the balmy blue to come out. So you don't want it to be super, super, super dark, but I say that only 3 times, right? But you do want enough darkness to create a difference between what is stamped and the background. So especially where it's stamped, you really want to go, I'm thinking I might need more ink. I've been doing this a few times, can you tell? So you really want to go over that image, around it, I should say, okay? And afterwards, if you don't like how it's colored, you can always go with the fine tip of your stamping blends and change the color of your embossing. It's kind of a pain, but then you don't have to throw away the card. Okay, so there you go. So there's your embossed resist. I like it better with that blue in it. And then you just wipe off your excess, especially right there. So there you go. I'm gonna grab some bling and of course my card base, but we're gonna close this up first. And obviously, if you did with white, it would look totally different. White embossing powder, that is. What do y'all think? Do you think you're going to try this? So I'm grabbing my blue adhesive backed gems. I'm going to grab the bluer side. Yes, I can do it with my fingers. Because my fingers work that way when you do it all day, every day. That's what happens. So now I gotta finish down here. Since the feather was taller, I didn't have to accent the same way, but oh, that one was not straight. We'll see if we can move that over a little bit. Can we? Woo. Okay. Got it. I think we made it. Okay. Because you've got the gems on there, if you don't want to glue on here, just remember that you're about 1/4 of an inch smaller than your mat. So you want to not go to the edges. That's about to run out. But it's okay. We always have more, right? So that is our card for the evening. Let's see. I'm going to change the light a little bit and see if that helps with you guys. So what do you think? The deeper the colors, the better. The lighter colors obviously don't pick up as much. I don't like that right there, but that's okay. So, and here's the original. So, there you go. What do you think? Good? It's an idea, right? You can also do Emboss Resist with a Stampin' Spritzer, the bottle, with a little bit of ink in it. You can also do it with our water painters. You can also do it with an old sponge that we don't have anymore. The blending brushes, sponge dauber if you want it to be a little bit more exact. I think that's about it. You could probably even do watercolor pencil and do the blender pens. Not the brushes, the blender pens, the glycerin pens. So, anyways, I hope you enjoy. Next week, if everything goes right, I'm going to be teaching you how to use the Stamparatus and have a template for how to make a wreath with 1 or 2 stamps. So, we'll see. So, thanks again for joining me. Follow me, stampinwithjohnny.com. Have a great evening, and thanks again for coming. Bye-bye.